Hey there, it's Elisa, the Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm back to do another reading. Ooh, the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So there's been a lot of changes going down this week, it seems, in the cards. And I just want to do a little reminder, if you're new to this channel, welcome to the channel. I just wanted to let you know that the videos on this channel are organized in a slightly different way. They're basically organized according to storyline. This is my little kitty. Her name is Aiko. She's super sweet. So they're not according to date or zodiac sign, but they're according to storyline, and I arrange them in threads according to the storyline. So if you find a video that resonates with you, you can connect to the thread for that storyline. And there's a video on the main page that kind of describes in more specific detail how this works. So right now I'm just pulling some overall energies for the reading. Oops, this one wanted to come out. Where did it go? It just flipped over. There we go. I'm pulling some overall energies for the reading, and then we'll get into it. But I know in my own experience, you know, it's like the last couple weeks there have been some major paradigm shifts and shakeups that have been happening. So you can go back and look at all of this unfolding, because there's some major family dynamics that are getting upturned and changed. Oops, we had a little bit extra. Oh, that's interesting. And as well as, you know, some epic love stories, and just basically just big paradigm shifts of life in general. So this week it seems like, you know, the new realities are starting to sink in. So there's like a lot of conflict, you know, around all these things that is going on. So it's been real interesting to watch all of this unfold. So for the overall energies, I got an interesting bunch. So we got the Nine of Pentacles. So this is like an independent swinging single card. So this is someone who's kind of like, you know, worked on their own stability, and they've kind of established themselves in their own right. And I always link this with the Frank Sinatra song, like I did it my way. Because it's just, yeah, this is not somebody that's like necessarily even looking for a relationship, because they've just kind of figured out how to make it on their own. Then we have the Lovers card, you know, which this can signify like a decision that needs to be made, but also this can, you know, speak about a love relationship, which in the context of these other cards, it seems what it's sort of referring to. So this can be like, you know, like a twin flame or soulmate relationship. And then we have, interestingly, we have the Page of Cups. So this seems like an offer of love, or a message of love that's coming forward. And then we have the Knight of Cups. So this is like Prince Charming coming forward with a message of love. So it's interesting that both of these came out and they flipped out together at the same time. So it's like a double message of love. So let's see. I'm going to pull out my other deck and kind of see if we can get some more clarity about what this situation is. So this is my Bianco Nero deck. It's a black and white deck. I really, really like it. I've been using it a lot lately. And, you know, during these moments of big change, it's nice to have, I don't know, there's a certain simplicity and clarity from the black and white deck that I'm finding a little soothing in this moment. So we're going to go with that. I'm just going to do some shuffles, and then I'm going to Pick some cards for the general energies of this reading. My cat is like the star of all the videos. She's just like perched here on my knee. Oops. So, there's definitely been a thread, you know, if you're wanting to connect with other threads on the channel, there's been a thread about this epic love saga, you know, an epic love story that's been wanting to surface for a while. So I'm not sure if this is connecting with that story, but, you know, in that story, there was like some toxic situation that was oppressing the love from coming to the surface. And so there's been like a lot of sort of politics around that's been, you know, happening, and lending itself to a shift in that area. So if that's a situation that, you know, you're walking through, there's a thread on the channel called Epic Love Story that you could connect to. And then, you know, also another thread that's, you know, been very passionate lately is a thread around, it's called Dynasty, and it's about like this new family structure that's sort of emerging out of the ashes of whatever conflict this toxic situation was. So, okay, interesting. So I actually have one more card than I usually have, but I'm not gonna go with it. So we have the Page of Wands. So this can be a, you know, a message of passion that's coming forward, or a spark, or, you know, some sort of spark or inspiration. And then we have the Eight of Wands. So this can be messages coming in, and it also can just be, you know, some fast action that's happening. And then we have the Empress. So this is, you know, she's the counterpart of the Emperor. And, you know, she symbolizes fertility and abundance, and she's, you know, the feminine counterpart of the Emperor, which is interesting because in the whole saga of the dynasty thread, which is like this family empire that's being built, there was this King of Pentacles who was sort of the star of this other thread called Phoenix, and it was like this downtrodden King of Pentacles who was just like nose to the grindstone and like rising up through the ashes of, you know, all this oppression. And then he kind of went through this transformation and became the Emperor. So some other threads to connect to related to that. But from this, it looks like there's some sort of spark that's happening around this Empress, and it's happening really fast. Like there's this message or, you know, inspiration is causing some sort of shift around this Empress. And it's going to happen fast. So let's see if we can get some more. And we also have the High Priestess. So this is also a feminine counterpart, and she's typically paired with the Hierophant. But the High Priestess is very intuitive, so she's very intuitive and spiritual, and you know, connected to the higher realms. And then we have the Moon, you know, so this can symbolize, you know, emotions, which definitely is sort of the realm that this High Priestess inhabits. And then the Page of Pentacles. So this is kind of like also like a grounded message, you know, that's more earthly. So it could be, you know, some sort of beginning of an offer around finances, or you know, some form of stability, which also like it comes beneath the Empress. So what I'm kind of getting from this is that there's some sort of spark that's coming through, and it's causing some sort of change, and it seems like that change is in the emotional realm. So it's interesting because if you look from a couple days ago, there was a reading. There's a new thread that we kind of stumbled on about the archetype of the divine feminine. And the divine feminine was going through a big shift and shakeup around just, she had been in some sort of toxic situation that was like oppressing her. And rather than engaging it and getting, you know, into the drama, she just kind of turned in, focused on herself, this energy, and then she just let karma happen. So what I'm kind of getting from this message is that it seems to be kind of what's coming to pass, but it's starting to like surface in the three-dimensional, you know, realm of reality. So it's not just in the emotions, it's not just like wishing and hoping anymore. Like something's actually happening, is what I'm getting from this. And then the extra card that popped out is this Page of Swords card, which this has been kind of haunting a lot of the readings lately. So this can be a message of truth coming through. And it's interesting because we have 3 pages, you know, so there's passion, you know, groundedness in the three-dimensional world, and then truth, you know. So it just seems like something that's been wanting to come through for a while, that there's a lot of passion around, is bubbling up to the surface. And, you know, it's some kind of truth that's maybe been oppressed for a while. Another thread that's associated with this card, so this can also indicate a stalker energy. And there have been a number of threads related to this, and there actually is a thread called Stalkers, where this card keeps coming up, and it always seems to come up around this oppression, and there's been this, you know, oppressed love story. And I think it was there's a video called Murakami Climax, where this stalker actually got outed, and it was like this toxic situation that was sort of blocking this epic love saga from coming to the surface. So it's interesting that this stalker comes up because, you know, this love story has been wanting to come to the surface for some time. And from this reading, it looks like there's actual, you know, there's something that's like bubbling up and like breaking through to like the tangible 3-dimensional reality. And it's just little, you know, so it's like maybe a lot of people aren't even aware or noticing that this is happening, because it's not something that's coming through with a lot of fanfare, but it's happening fast. And there's just like a little, you know, toe dip in the water where, you know, maybe like people in the know are going to know that this shift is happening. Interesting. So the card that pops up from the Sacred Travel Oracle is Impasse. Reflect and redirect your energy. So this really harkens to the Divine Feminine reading from a couple days ago, where it's just like there's this toxic situation, and it's just like don't engage it. Just let it be what it is, because karma's going to happen. Don't fuel it with your energy. Just disengage, because at the end of the day, like, the truth is coming out and you can't really stop it. So you know, just let it move forward on its own, its own time. And yeah, that would be the advice. And I would also maybe check back on a couple videos, like the Divine Feminine video from a couple days ago, and then the Murakami Climax, which I'll put links to here in the video so that you can link up to it. But yeah, it looks like you know, there's a train coming, but it's and it's not even actually moving that slow anymore, but maybe it's like coming through a town in the middle of the night, you know, so like not everybody knows about it yet. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this reading, and we'll see how that unfolds for you, and we'll check back tomorrow.